Hi, guys. How's it going? I get the urge to start videos like that all the time. Just like the way you would start a conversation.
Yeah.
Do you ever get the urge to do that? Just like,
I
hi, guys.
I like to do that, and then I like to like leave enough of a pause so that I can assume what they would have said on their side of the conversation. I do that like a couple times with very, very obvious things, like, "Hey guys, how are you today?" Right, and then you can kind of assume the answer is going to be something like, "Yeah, no, it's a fine day. I'm just catching nubs on some YouTube," and then you respond to whatever that would have been, right? So you assume the conversation for like 3 full frames, and then respond with something ridiculous, like, "I can't believe you would say that to me in this house."
Dare you? You don't even know my mother.
Oh my god. And I don't even think that would fit there.
Audacity.
Would you like to give us a countdown to start?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hell yeah.
What items did you get on our paradox rotation? Didn't mention that we're doing a paradox rotation, but I think it's probably obvious if you watched the last one. Go watch the last one. What'd you get?
I got blasphemy, I've got explosive rounds, and I've got the rattler.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got
the bow.
You got what?
I got the bow.
The bow. As
the
in
bow.
The definite article bow? Just by itself?
Just the item that is so bad that you don't even remember that it's in the game. The bow.
I mean, you could get the sling, and then you could have the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortune.
Yeah.
Take
I got
arms
oiled
against the sea
cylinder
of trouble.
too, which...
Sorry?
I like oiled cylinder. I got that too, but it has no effect for me right now. But maybe later.
It's not half bad. I'm a big fan of the oiled cylinder. Unless, you know, I have a very specific weapon that it happens to start hitting a boss damage cap with or something.
I'd go as far as to say it might even be half good.
Half good? Damn, a whole half?
Yeah, whole half good. Everybody says it's not things are not half bad, but why don't they ever say that it's not half good?
Because they're all pessimists.
How dare they? That's very pessimistic of you.
Do you think you're a pessimist or an optimist?
Optimist. Mostly. Mostly an optimist. I've been an optimist. Okay, correction. I've been an optimist my whole life to a fault, and then this year I've kind of turned into a rapid pessimist in some situations. It's just been such a bad year that it's changed my outlook on a lot of things that I hope will go away by the end of the year. So like, but still, I'd say the optimist in me says that I think it's like you can hear that in that sentence. I still am an optimist because I think it's gonna go away next year.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm being optimistic about how pessimistic I am. So I guess that probably makes me more optimistic than pessimist.
I would say on aggregate, on balance, at the absolute least, yeah. I mean, because I ask because I was wondering if it would be kind of similar, which is I oftentimes rock the aesthetic of the kind of cynic of the pessimist for the sake of a joke or something like that. But I do kind of think of myself generally as someone who is quite optimistic with an anxiety condition, because like it can be hard to be optimistic about circumstances with that specific relation, but in general, I find my outlook kind of positive.
Yeah, I read that and I feel that. I think that's the best way of putting it for me. I feel weird calling myself an optimist because of all the things that are bizarre that go through my mind.
Yep.
But they all generally come back into a positive place. Like, I don't usually think disaster's actually gonna strike when the moment's over.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
you know,
Like it can be difficult.
In a panic attack, everything's bad.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It can be difficult to tease those apart and separate them out. Like, which of this is doom is oncoming because of panic, and which of this is... I think that, given my unique perspective on the world, doom is probably oncoming as a result of this thing. Like, which is a...
Yeah.
I guess, like, is either of them rational?
Either of which.
Is there a rational pessimism? Because obviously, like, panic isn't rational. Like, it exclusively overrides that.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like is a rational pessimist just a realist?
I would assume so, but again, like, realist has, like, I mean, I was about to say realist is a nebulous term, but so is optimist and so is pessimist. So I guess we're just working on shifting sands.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Not half bad.
Ever build any sandcastles?
I was a huge fan of building sandcastles. That was my jam.
just to completely shift the topic.
No, totally fine. I'll take it. I was huge into sandcastles, which actually tied also into I would save every toilet roll and cardboard box that we had in the house that was ever used to consume anything, and then I would build little cities out of them. And used to also try and build marble tracks into those cities, so I could like drop a marble in and then it'd go all around the whole city and then go down. Because a friend of mine had like those like plastic piece together, make a track for your marbles kind of thing, and I could never convince my parents to get them.
Yeah.
So I just made them using toilet paper.
Yeah, fair.
And that was the same kind of like addiction that made me want to go, okay, I've seen someone has built a sandcastle, now I need to know how to build all sandcastles and do it.
Yeah. I mean, you probably fostered more creativity by making your own tracks, you know, like without the pre-made parts, without no instructions, probably did you a lot of good.
It almost certainly did. Like the ability to pragmatically and practically visualize those kinds of structures before building them, I think was very, very helped by the fact that I didn't have an instruction book. I mean, for the same reason, like a lot of the time when I would get a Lego kit, I'd open it up and then I'd just build something. And then afterwards I'd build the real thing.
I only realized like a short handful of years ago that Lego sets had instructions.
So were you looking at the cover and just trying to recreate it from that?
No, I was just like, oh, that's a fun idea of what this could be. Like, I mean, all of my Legos came from a giant bin, to be fair. Like, I played with Legos a lot as a kid, but I got a massive bin of them donated to me. So I didn't realize that any of those came from like actual legitimate sets, and I was just like, oh, that's like on the front of the box, because I never got any Legos new because I didn't need them.
Right.
So I was just like, oh, that's just an example of the kind of pieces that are in the box. I didn't realize that people like wanted to make the thing that was on the box. So I was like, it's way more fun to just do your own thing.
Okay, well, I have a related question. Have you ever solved a 1,000-piece puzzle? And if so, how?
Have I ever solved a what? A 1,000-piece puzzle?
Yeah, have you ever solved a 1,000-piece puzzle? And if so, how?
Oh, I love puzzles. I did not look at the box. Nope. No siree.
Just I like the idea of trying to discover what the scene is along the way.
Yeah.
Put the final piece in and it just says, screw you, Reto. And you're like, what? How did you know?
Like, yeah, like who made this? I hate this about myself, but the only puzzles I get are ones from secondhand stores. They're stores that might not have all the pieces.
That's perfect.
And I do it to myself willingly. Why do I do that to myself willingly?
That's puzzles on hard mode. Are you kidding me?
I guess, but it's a little chaotic. A lot of times they have all the pieces though.
What would you say is the percentage hit rate of getting all pieces versus missing one?
I'd say like 70% of the time you get all the pieces.
That's a decent enough rate, frankly.
I think that puzzles from thrift stores get a bad reputation of being a bad purchased like thing at thrift stores, and I think it's mostly true. But a lot of times people are just like, I never made this puzzle. Let's get rid of it.
Or I made this puzzle exactly once, and that is now the puzzle done.
Yeah, you don't really like. It's weird. You don't really need to do the puzzle again, but like, if you don't really, by the same token, if you don't really I guess if you're just doing it to see the picture,
Mm-hmm.
do you need to make? I mean, you never need to make it again.
Well, I mean, if
But, like,
you're only
also-
doing it to see the picture, you never need to make it. You can just
I know,
own
that's
the
what I'm
box.
saying. That's kind of what I was just thinking. I was like, it's weird that we don't just make people who like are serial puzzle purchasers, and I know there are a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who are like in the puzzles buy a lot of puzzles.
Yeah.
But you didn't memorize the pattern. You could just do the same puzzle again if you don't just care about the picture.
You could well do, but at the same rate, I mean, why not just frame the puzzle when you're done? I've seen
A lot of
people
people do that. A lot of people do that.
I'd be into that.
I went to a restaurant that had a puzzle framed above the toilet of it was a huge puzzle of like a pickup truck, and it was all gross and wet and bent.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much to this story. It's just and it looked like people were taking the pieces off while they were like on the toilet, and I just like, who does that? Why do you want to rip apart this puzzle?
No,
Also, why did this puzzle get so wet?
okay, the thing is, that's actually a really, really popular puzzle in that area, and every single person who sat down has gone, I actually bought this from a thrift store a while ago. I'm missing exactly this piece. Let me just take it home.
Yeah, 3 and 7 people
Uh-huh.
who have gone in there have that thought. Assuming that 100% of the people in this town purchased that puzzle from the thrift store. A good solid 3 of them.
100% of them did.
That's why there was exactly. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, I like making puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the box. I look at instructions for everything. I just didn't realize they were in Legos. I knew they were in like Bionicle. I made those. But I just
I was
just
aboard
never-
the Bionicle train for a while as well.
it was a big part of my life for probably half a year.
Did you ever watch the TV show?
Nope.
Ah.
Not that half a year. I don't remember it that there even being one. So I probably not.
I think it might have been significantly after the fact, but I always remember Bionicles being like a giant kind of like cultural touchstone. But it really seems like it was just like a couple toys at the time.
Yeah. It
Was
like,
the
it
marketing
seemed like
just
it was
good?
a couple toys. I guess the marketing was great. There was a Game Boy Advance game that I played.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the stories of that one never unfinished Bionicle game that's supposed to be this like huge open world game that everybody is like trying to desperately restore?
Still?
Apparently, yes. Like last year, people are still trying to restore it because it was unfinished and there's just pieces of it found or something. I don't know. It's just this big thing. And it's just this weird open world-ish Bionicle game. I don't know.
Huh. I mean,
There's someone there for everything, you know?
I mean, I
People are
would,
still looking for
I
Bionicle.
would barrack for its release, but as I've said before, and as you've expressed as well, too many games. Stop making them.
Yeah.
No more games.
I don't need to go back to the Isle of Matanui.
Yeah, I believe it was actually. Good memory.
Yeah. It's a pairing one.
What were you pairing that memory with then?
The fact that Bionicles existed.
Ah, yes.
No, honestly, I don't know.
It's funny you should mention memory though. That's got a weird one.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to use the wind-up gun in this fight, but it's the kill pillars, and I need penetrative weapons.
Oh man, I would give me the wind-up gun. I got the oiled cylinder.
Oh, does that have a synergies?
It's got a really good synergy. On top of the fact that it would be a good combo anyways. It's got a really good synergy too. I think it just makes it do buku damage.
Ooh, I do like buku damage. I could have that going from time to time. How has your run started to shape up?
I got the fight saber.
Ah.
And the commando.
Well.
And the dragon actually just gave me the keys to his car. I don't know.
You are fighting the dragon?
No.
What car does the dragon
No,
drive?
you just. I don't know enough about cars to make a joke. I need
Damn.
to expand my knowledge in that category just to make just for honestly, like whenever I want to learn about a weird topic, it's just so I can pull a random joke that seems like more natural.
The Dragon actually drives a dodge roll. So the maker is dodge, the model type is roll.
Yeah, okay.
That's the closest I can get. I don't know cars either.
I think I feel like I mean, I know that that's not a real car, right? No, I know that it's not a real car, but I feel like they probably wouldn't want to make one called the Roll. I'd probably give you bad feelings about about its safety standards.
Yeah, this is the Dodge roll. It is equipped with a roll cage for absolutely no reason. I don't know why we've named it this either. So just get in and have a good time.
Yeah. Once you start rolling, you never stop rolling. It's the slogan. just push down a hill. You keep on going.
I legitimately would actually love to be in one of those little bubbles that they roll people down a hill in.
Oh yeah.
Is that like an actually common thing anywhere? Because I see gifs of it constantly, which usually makes me think, oh, this is American.
The rolling bubble ball things you get in?
Yeah.
You're saying? I've never been in any situation where it's been available to me. The only time I've ever seen anything about it is when we were potentially thinking about going on a trip to New Zealand. It was some like a really big tourist thing they had there was those bouncy balls, and I was like, huh.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I was going to do touristy stuff, it seems like New Zealand's where to do it. Number one, Hobbiton, obviously. Number two,
Hobbiton.
Rolling down hills, skiing.
I just want to can I just roll down into the Mines of Moria?
Mm-hmm.
Please. All I want to do is get in a giant bubble and record new scenes of Lord of the Rings. I want to set up the shot so that I can just pace myself in the movies. Breaking immersion by rolling with the ball through the background, through the misty mountains or wherever.
There is the moment in what's it called? Right, The Hobbit. Yeah, there's the moment where all of the dwarves are in the barrels rolling down the river.
Yeah.
It could pair perfectly with that.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't put it there though. I would find the least. I would do it like in gosh, is it in Return of the King where Pippin is singing his song?
Yep.
And they're going through all the different shots of the battle, and then there'll just be one shot of me with the beautiful song in the background, and I'll just be rolling down a hill screaming, and they'll have the audio really, really muffled of me screaming.
I want mine inserted in the moment where Frodo decides to board the ship. It will sail away with the elves.
Yeah.
Just as soon as he hands his book over to Samwise, that's when I want it just inserted.
Yeah. Or I mean, spoilers for the Lord of the Rings, but when Sam and Frodo are laying on the rock and the lava's coming down and they're talking about their journey, and then I just come screaming down, like floating over the lava. and then,
just actually, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna go for like a more significant, realistic kind of possibility, and that is the blizzards and the what would you call them? Avalanches that occur before they get into the Mines of Moria that force them to go into the Mines of Moria. While that's happening, I just come down,
bouncing.
I just bounce down the hill,
like,
exactly.
You get knocked off the top of the hill, and your ball just starts bouncing and keeps bouncing.
I just wave on the way past as well.
Oh, it's great. You're leaving with style. You're just like, you came here just for the thrill of. You knew there was going to be an avalanche.
Mm-hmm.
It was for sport. I see.
Who says I didn't cause it?
That's, you know.
Well, I mean, the movie very literally
Gandalf,
canonically says I didn't, but.
I mean, not to point fingers, but you literally killed Gandalf the first time
All right.
before he had the trusty whatever the hell the undermine item I just said before.
The trusty undermine. Ah, yes, the lock. It wasn't
The
lock
thing.
It was keyring.
Keyring. So I don't even know if that's right. I made it up because it looks like one.
That seems about right. It's the one with the bunny on, right?
Yeah.
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 That seems like a keyring.
Yeah.
So actually, to
you have anything on
digress
that?
to a thing that I have been thinking about ever since earlier, do you feel like as a kid you get, because this is related to, in particular, not either of us being car people, it always feels like as a kid you have to decide the thing you're into at that time. Like it's cars, it's trucks, it's something. There's something that all of your family needs to know that you're into that they can boil you down to as a person.
Yeah.
What did you spec into?
Yeah.
What did you tell people?
I mean, the answer was always like games, but my parents always said it was something else. like there was a time where I was apparently into cars, because I don't know, like I had Hot Wheels, but I didn't.
That does mean
I
you're
liked
into
Hot
cars,
Wheels
I'm pretty sure.
because I liked Hot Wheels because they, I just realized why people are into cars. I was about to say I just like the Hot Wheels because when I pushed them they went fast.
Yep.
But you know what? People just like cars because when they press the foot button, it goes fast. You know what? I solved it.
I regret to inform you, but you're now super into cars. You've discovered what car people have discovered. This channel now needs to become a car channel.
Oh man, Rhapsody, I've been saying we need to. You know what this run needs?
Yep.
More cars. We need more cars in this run. Quite frankly, more horsepower too, probably.
I could do with a little bit more
engine?
horsepower in the run. Yeah, no, I agree with that one.
V8 engine, V8 fruit juice engine.
This is the deepest my references of mechanical engines go. What about a 4-stroke motor?
4-stroke. Let's try 5. Get rid of it.
I am almost certain that's mechanically impossible. I love it.
It's like saying you're gonna stop at a 4-cheese pizza. 5 or bust, baby. You're telling me that I have to only get 4 strokes on my engine?
I think it's the piston moves 4 times, but I'm trying to remember like engineering class from year 9. This is 10 years ago now.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to make things up on the fly, so.
And you're probably getting it more accurate than I am, frankly.
Yeah, that's I hate being in that weird level of knowledge where you want to talk with like a fraction of confidence, but you're probably getting as much right as if you just like would have guessed. It's like I want to prove that I know something, but I need to know a little bit more before it actually lines up.
Yeah, I often try and rely on my conversational partner knowing more about it than me, and then saying a phrase that I know is directly related to difficult parts or like more obscure parts, just to prove, yeah, I do know something about this. It's just I don't actually know it. I know the adjacent information that would imply that I know the thing.
Yeah. I definitely listened to a podcast where someone knows something about that thing you're talking about. And I can repeat a couple of those words.
That's a shot in the face.
Oh, thank God. I've been using the bow the whole forge, and I just can't do it anymore, Rhapsody.
Yeah, I'll free you from your purgatory there.
Thank you. Thank you. Free me. Free me. Congratulations. And thank you. I think that counts as 2 wins because I wanted to die so bad.
I got real lucky that because I didn't pick up an item on the 4th floor, my 4th floor boss weapon was the Mega Hand, which was my forge clear.
Oh, Oh man, that's nice.
Mm.
Yes.
Well,
Boy.
usually I when I'm doing the outro, I'm used to the patter of being able to say, well, congratulations on the win. So my name has been Rhapsody, but I can't say that here because I'd be congratulating myself. So instead, your outro.
All right. I mean, it is my outro.
Oh, it
Anyways,
is?
isn't it?
Oh God, I thought
Dirty
it was.
thief.
Oops.
Well, usually when I do my outro, I say, thank you for watching, but links are in the description and everything. But your outro? Your outro?
Catch all rounder.
You can have it. Oh, dang. Okay. Bye.